Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab. Welcome to episode 43. Let's hope this trail never ends. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy.
And today we are talking about Trail's End, and the episode has been named thusly because Amy just said, "This is a breakfast buffet I would definitely do again." And I gasped and almost fell out of my chair, and
Unprompted.
But that's how you know it's a good one.
Yeah, and it was completely unprompted.
I know, I wasn't like, "Hey Amy. Hey Amy, what'd you think of this breakfast buffet? Hey Amy. Hey Amy." She was just like, "Oh my god, I would totally do that again," when we were looking through pictures, and I was like, "Oh, yes," because this was one of my favorites too.
Yes, it's fantastic.
I mean, when you get berries and a mimosa, what? But first, yo, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish?
Let's dish. Did we actually say it was Trail's End, or we just said? I think we just said that it was.
No, I said Trail's End.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, if I didn't, Trail's End. Can you imagine editing that back in? Oy.
That's why I was just kind of like, hold on, before I do item one, let's not get to the end of the news and then have Julie edit back. Trail's End.
Yeah, I said this week we're talking about Trail's End. We
Yes,
named
you're right.
the
Yes, now I remember.
thusly because, yeah, okay.
Alrighty. Item 1. Miss the Food and Wine Festival and want to relive the concept now instead of waiting for the festival? Well, now you sort of can. Disney has brought back the tasting sampler at Animal Kingdom Park. For $50, you get a digital value card that can be used at over 40 outdoor food and beverage locations throughout the park. You also get a $10 digital value card, that's what Disney's calling them, that can be used at the following quick service restaurants after 5 p.m. from April 12th to April 22nd, 2019. Restaurantosaurus, Pizzafari family style dining. Did not realize that was two different things. Flame Tree Barbecue and Satuli Canteen.
Yes!
The $50 card does not expire and can be used at any time of the day while locations are open. If you have any after 5 p.m. plans for these restaurants at Animal Kingdom between the 12th and 22nd of April, you can get a bonus $10 to spend. If not, you can still snack your way around the Animal Kingdom anytime you like. With the summer hours coming, the snack booths tend to be open more frequently and with longer hours. Now, Disney was nice enough to give us a nice list of these locations and some fun items you might like from them.
All right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing costs $50.
Yes.
And you get 5 $10 vouchers, or how many $10 vouchers?
It's not. It's a digital value card. So
Yeah.
instead of like a rip-off voucher, like at the Food and Wine Festival they have, it's like a $50 gift card. They're just calling it a digital value card.
So it's $50 for $50 worth of tasting.
Yes.
Plus the bonus $10.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand how this thing works.
Okay, so it's $50, and you get the $50 digital value card. So I'm assuming something very similar to a gift card, but you can only use it in Animal Kingdom. But it does not expire. The $10 bonus is from the 12th to the 22nd of April for those restaurants mentioned. Those restaurants being, I will say them again, Restaurantosaurus, Pizzafari and Pizzafari Family Style Dining, Flame Tree Barbecue, and Satuli Canteen. But the other $50 you can use anywhere.
Perfect.
Yes. Anywhere in Animal Kingdom. At these locations, which seem to be all of the outdoor locations. So, just a fun little overview of the items that might tantalize your taste buds for your mini Animal Kingdom Food and Wine Festival, we'll call it, or food festival. At Kasufari Bakery in Africa, you can get chicken curry, shrimp curry, chicken and shrimp curry, and coffee. At Caravan Road in Asia, you can get...
Oh, okay, sorry. So I understand the benefit of this, because using this gift card, you can only get these specific items that are on the tasting sampler menu.
That is not what's indicated.
It says, here's a list of the new and returning eat and treats that you won't want to miss.
Okay. I think you can buy them otherwise, but these are part of the tasting menus. Like I think you can, if you don't get a tasting passport or a tasting sampler, I think you can go buy them anyways. Basically, it's mini Food and Wine at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I just didn't realize. I didn't know if it was just the regular food items or they were special items for this. Like,
yeah, it seems like they've added some fun special items. At Caravan Road in Asia. Julie, what can you get? It's made with tuna.
You can get tuna tataki bowl or a pork bao,
which is a bun. At Mr. Kamal's, which the Disney site weeks ago said didn't exist when we wanted to talk about it.
It did.
Fried chicken and Kamal fries with dipping sauce.
The fries were really good.
Trillo Bites in Dinoland USA. The Scrooge McDuck's Billionaire Bacon Caramel Sundae. It comes with a little Scrooge McDuck gold foil covered chocolate coin. I believe they
it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, they were on something in the fall or in the winter, I think.
I remember. We talked about it.
Yes. The Dino Bite snacks, you can get strawberry shortcake ice cream sandwich at Terra Treats in Discovery Island, tomato and cheese pizza, meatball slider on focaccia roll, sausage and peppers pizza at Smiling Crocodile in Discovery Island, house smoked a
Patron slider,
yes,
really.
I want a house smoked Patron slider. House smoked pastrami slider, pulled pork street tacos, and chips and queso. Participating carts and kiosks. In Africa, there's Mahindi, which they have popcorn, glazed nuts, and beer. Tamu Tamu refreshments, which is pineapple Dole Whip cup, ice cream, treats, and beer. Dalabar, specialty beverages, cocktails, and beer. Harambe Fruit Market. Dawa Bar, specialty beverages, cocktails, and beer. Harambe Fruit Market. Fresh fruit pretzels, grilled corn. In Asia, the Waring Outpost has pretzels, chips, and margaritas. Drinkwalla has nuts, chips, and frozen beverages. Chakarandia. We're just going to pretend that's how it's pronounced. Pretzels, nuts, beer, and fountain beverages. And Anandapur ice cream treats, soft serve ice cream treats, fountain beverages. Thirsty River Bar and Trek snacks, popcorn, ice cream treats, pretzels, cocktails, and beer. Snack cart near Up, a Great Bird Adventure. Ice cream treats. That's literally what it's called. Dinoland USA, Dino Diner, chili cheese dog, corn chip pie, churros, and beer. Cornivores, popcorn, and bottled beverages, and I appreciate that corny pun. Discovery Island, you can find Feeding Ground, has popcorn, frozen lemonade, and beer. 8 Spoon Cafe, macaroni and cheese with pulled pork or shrimp and pretzels.
We talked about that.
Yes, we did. Isle of Java has coffee, pastry, chocolate donut holes. Snack cart near Tiffin's, all beef hot dogs, ice cream treats. In Pandora, the world of Avatar, Pongu Pongu has pretzels, pineapple lumpia. Thank goodness they're back.
They took it back.
Specialty beverages. Beverage cart near Pongu Pongu has chips and bottled beverages, and then park-wide, the ice cream carts. So the tasting sampler can be purchased through April 22nd, 2009 at noon, so they don't want to try to sell it to you at the end of the day. Make sure you got plenty of time for it. And the $50 digital value card, though it can only be redeemed at the many locations I just mentioned, does not expire after the 22nd of April. The $10 bonus digital value card for the 5 p.m. and after quick service does expire after the 22nd. So there you go, mini Food and Wine in Animal Kingdom. If you're planning to snack your way around Animal Kingdom during this delectable snack time.
Yeah, this is the way to do it.
Item 2. Who is looking for a new Disney collectible? Anybody?
Me.
If you are in the market for a new Disney collectible, welcome to the Disney Wishables. They are tiny plush Disney characters and other fun Disney things. Think the Disney, the Tsum Tsums or the Tsumis. What were those called? I can never pronounce that right. Tsum Tsums. Only more easily recognizable because, in my opinion, the one flaw with those was they were very hard to tell who they were for a lot of slightly obscure characters, not even fully obscure characters. But they're tiny little plushies.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
Yes. They will be launched initially with Mickey and Friends, some of the Finding Nemo crew. We are talking Darla in scuba gear here, so that's like a fun little switch up. Pirates of the Caribbean and Disney Park treats.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, the Disney Park treat ones are
Those
so
are the
cute.
cutest ones I have ever seen. Now, if they could just make Figment ones, then we'd just be in absolute heaven.
So it looks like when they are launched, there's going to be some celebration events that are going to be on April 10th. In Disneyland, it's from 9 a.m. to noon at World of Disney in downtown Disney. And at Disney World, 10 a.m. to noon at Once Upon a Toy in Disney Springs.
Okay, so that would be when they're launched, when
Launching.
they first go for sale. They'll probably be found soon after all over the place, but that's where they're going to initially be available for purchase.
And then Once Upon a Toy is not the World of Disney in Disney Springs.
Correct.
It's the one closer to the Christmas store that has
Yes.
like the blocks and the Tinker Toys on the outside
Look
of it.
for the giant Tinker Toy. Item 3. Rafiki's Planet Watch is making a comeback.
I saw this. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go.
Yes. This summer, Rafiki's Planet Watch will reopen with a few new enhancements and a new celebration of The Lion King. You will still get the same interactions with animals, aka petting zoo, and a few fun and updated experiences. If you remember, Rafiki's Planet Watch closed last year with no initial indication or timeline of its fate. Disney did later let us know that they were planning to reopen Rafiki's Planet Watch after some park infrastructure updates, but with no timeline, so this really was kind of out of the blue. Yay, they're reopening. It's really good that it's reopening because it does hold on to a lot of the original values of the park, which is animal and environmental conservation. A lot of people would skip it just because if you don't know it's there, you kind of skip over it. And when asked,
And I always skipped it.
yes. And when asked, they're going to say, "Oh, well, there's some petting zoos and something like that." And it doesn't really sound like it's interesting, but it is pretty interesting and definitely worth a
Petting
check
zoos
out.
are awesome.
Yeah, but even the stuff other than the petting zoo, if you're really lucky, at least again before they did the update, they had on stage veterinarian services essentially. So if you're really lucky, you might be there when they're doing a procedure on or a checkup on one of the animals that lives at Animal Kingdom.
That's really cool.
Yes. So it's definitely something, especially where it's newly reopened, newly refurbished, newly updated. Definitely go check it out. I know we will. They didn't actually give us a date. They just said that it's reopening this summer. So I would say Memorial Day weekend or afterwards would probably be your best bet as to when to start looking.
All right, so that is it for Amy's Daily Dish. Hey, I got it right that time. So this is what Disney says about Trails End. Feast on a down-home buffet for breakfast, dinner, or on a weekend brunch at this tasty frontier mainstay. Head off your hunger at breakfast and dinner time too, with all you care to enjoy American favorites in a rustic locale. From sunup to sundown, your taste buds are guaranteed an expedition through flavor country. Round up your settlement and sail across Bay Lake to a time of pioneers. Nestled on 750 wooded acres inhabited by enchanting wildlife, Trails End Restaurant is one dining destination you'll want to allow plenty of time to reach. Getting there is a trailblazing adventure unto itself. Which is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Because we chose to get there by Disney minivan.
Yes.
When we went to the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review for dinner, we got an Uber to the main entrance of the resort and then had to take a bus back to our dinner because the only buses that go back are the resort buses, and the only way to get through is either with a golf cart or the Disney minivan. Humans are allowed to drive through as well. So it was our first experience with the Disney minivan because we figured for a little extra money it was worth the convenience of not having to
Get up an extra 45 minutes early.
Exactly. But you can also take a bus from the Contemporary, and I believe it leaves from the Magic Kingdom as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that early in the morning, it's getting a bus to
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom and then getting the boat to...
Pioneer Hall area. It's not too far of a walk.
Yeah, because we took the
Yeah, we took the
boat back.
So if you are staying at any of the Bay Lake resorts that have a boat there, that's another option as well. But the vast majority of resorts do not have a boat to Fort Wilderness, so other arrangements must be made.
All right. Yes, like Amy said, the breakfast menu gives your basics. I will read it to you because it's super short. It says fresh fruit, chili, sausage and bacon, breakfast pizza, breakfast hash, Mickey waffles, eggs Benedict, biscuits and sausage gravy, specialty country pork dish, French toast custard pudding, cheese grits, oatmeal, yogurt, freshly baked pastries, and vegetable frittata. It doesn't know justice.
It really does not.
This was so delicious.
Our waitress's name was Linda.
Thank you.
So we're just going to move off this menu and look at our pictures.
And so it was really awesome driving in. Our Uber driver, our minivan driver was really awesome. We'd never taken one before, so he took pictures for us in front of the minivan. He posed for us while we took pictures of him in front of the minivan. It was super clean. It was super awesome. He was such a friendly guy.
Yes.
And, we shared with him how much we love Disney and that we had the Disney Food Podcast, and he was really interested in everything. And he pointed out some deer to us as we were driving and slowed down so we could get some pictures. As you know, you're driving through the wilderness. You see some animals.
It's Fort Wilderness after all.
And it was really fun because at the end he took out this folder that he had and he makes these really awesome little bracelets. And he let us have one because he decided that we were totally kids at heart.
Yes.
And so I picked a Belle one, which was super awesome. And
I had Maleficent.
Amy got the Maleficent one. But it's really cool. They're beaded bracelets and they have the colors of the characters. So looking through them, it was really fun to discover which ones they were and figure out what characters they were, which was really awesome. And mine was really awesome. It was all yellow and then had one red bead and 3 green beads to signify the rose. It was really awesome.
It was really funny because on a Facebook group a few weeks later, somebody posted the pictures of like 4 of these bracelets. They clearly had gotten the same Uber driver or same minivan driver and gave their kids bracelets. And she was trying to figure out which character went with which bracelet, because clearly she didn't ask. And it was funny because both of the bracelets Julie and I got were pictured, both the color combinations, and everyone's just arguing about what's this one and what's this one. I was like, well, I can tell you those 2 are definitely this one because we caught them too. And that's what he said they were. It was just kind of funny, the back and forth online about that, arguing as to what colors went with what characters.
That was pretty funny. But we saw Baby Deer.
Little baby.
And he dropped us off as close as you could possibly get. He told us some facts about it. And he talked about, the horses, that you could get a horse-like drawn carriage around. He was telling us about the people that decorate for the holidays and for Christmas and stuff, and being able to experience that and seeing how above and beyond people go when they decorate for Christmas when they're down at Fort Wilderness. So that was really cool to learn all about that. And I guess the carriage ride that you take at Christmas time takes you around and you can see all of the decorations on all the houses, which is really fun.
They do a special, it's horse-drawn carriage. I think there are little runners on the carriage to kind of make it look like it's a sled, but it's obviously a carriage because it's Florida and there's no snow in Florida. But that, they do that, and it's not something they do normally during the rest of the year. It's just during Christmas, so people can come and actually see all the beautiful Christmas decorations. People also decorate a lot for Halloween. I don't know if they do a carriage ride for that, though.
We'll have to find out.
They might do a
Perhaps
hayride.
We can do this breakfast and find out. Or maybe the dinner. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. So atmosphere was really cool. From, just getting to Fort Wilderness to being around it. It was our Christmas trip, so there was a really massive Christmas tree outside, and the ornaments were things like sheriff stars and little metal horses and wagon wheels and some other really awesome stuff, little teeny tiny cowboy boots. So it was really, really cool to see them decorated for Christmas, but also kind of have their own rustic touch to it. And then waiting, there was a porch and there were seats, like rocking chairs and everything to sit on. And
A nice veranda, if you will.
it was really, really pretty. And, you know, when you go for the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, it was at night when we went. And so we didn't really get a chance to look around and see how the whole resort was. But it was really, really pretty and really,
Yeah.
really fun.
Fort Wilderness is one of my favorite resorts. We stayed when I was really little in 94. And it was just one of the most fun Disney experiences.
All right, and then inside, it was really cool. We have some pictures, and they had a really cute stove on display while we were sitting there. It was really, really awesome and really cool. I took a picture of the cheesy potato casserole sign because it was that good. We will talk about that in
Yes, we
detail.
will.
Don't you worry. But our waitress, her name was Linda. She was super awesome. Like, just from the start, getting there. She was really wonderful and made us feel at home, which was really great. And, you know, the whole atmosphere inside is very rustic. There is a little display case that had all the pastries right as you walk in, so you can get those. If you walk a little bit further past that, outside of breakfast, there were additional pastries and desserts that you could purchase from a little display case, and I think there were some other things that you can order there if you weren't doing the breakfast, as far as breakfast options and stuff, which is really nice.
Kind of like a quick service option situation.
Yeah. The only issue I had with the layout of everything was there was only one side for the buffet.
Yeah.
And it got a little crowded as it got busier, and things weren't spread out that much.
Yeah.
But overall, it was really, really fun.
One thing to keep in mind with Fort Wilderness, and I think this is a very prime example of that, is it was one of the earliest Disney resorts. Like, it's been there since the beginning, Fort Wilderness has. And this would be a location that's been there since the beginning, when they weren't going to get quite as many people, you know, wasn't going to have as much traffic, wasn't going to be a situation that would regularly be sold out and, you know, reservation. It was back in the days when you just show up and you could walk in, it wouldn't be, you know, a problem. So it is definitely a much smaller space. They, you know, expanding to have a second side of all the same things would be a great idea if they can figure a way to do that. But yeah, it is a little cramped at first, but it's all there. It's worth the wait in line.
Absolutely. It was amazing. But we were there. We had one of the first reservations there, so we were able to get most of our food very quickly and without a wait. It was just going back for the seconds of everything.
Yes.
Just was a little bit harder. So we'll start with the pastries, the assorted pastries that they say they had. They had multigrain croissants, which we saw those the first time at Brunch at California Grill, and now they're just everywhere, which is awesome.
Because they're delicious.
They're so delicious. And then regular croissants. There were cherry danishes that were little circular danishes with cherry filling. Corn muffins. There was also cinnamon rolls. I was just going to call them cinnamon bun rolls, but that's not right. Blueberry muffins. The apple Danish was my favorite as far as presentation because it was a Danish, but it just had some like little holes poked in it, so it looked like a lattice pattern on the top of it. Lattice. But it was really pretty the way they presented it, and I believe... Nope, that's not the one that's covered in powdered sugar, but that was super delicious. And then there were donuts and chocolate
torsade. It was a chocolate
Danish,
torsade.
Basically. Sorry, that picture was way too tiny. I couldn't see what that said, but that was also delicious. So I have a beautiful plate. But the chocolate pastries was really good. To me, it was like the Cheshire Cat twist, but instead of drizzled frosting, it was just powdered sugar on it.
Yeah. Just like how at the Bon Voyage breakfast you get
with Flynn Rider. Swoon.
Yes. You get basically the Cheshire Cat twist without any sort of icing on it.
I feel like I've kind of been living under a rock forever because I didn't realize that Zachary Levi is the voice of Flynn Rider, and I love Zachary Levi. He's one of my favorite actors. And so I had a huge crush on Flynn Rider before, and now it's just borderline obsessed.
Yeah, I knew that. I just didn't know that, like, that was something you didn't know.
Yeah, because I loved him in Chuck, and he was really amazing in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. He was fabulous in Shazam. He's so wonderful in everything that he does. And he's such a good human. Anyway, the apple strudel. What did I
Yeah.
call it?
I think it was an apple strudel or an apple turnover.
The apple Danish. The
Yes,
apple Danish was my absolute favorite. The cherry one was really good. You don't normally see a cherry Danish anywhere, and
Yeah.
sometimes that cherry flavor can be a little medicine-y, but it was really, really delicious.
Yeah, this one, everything.
And it was a really good combination of sweet and sour. The cherries had a little bit of sour to it, but the glaze on top, and then obviously the Danish itself brought out the sweetness in it that was really amazing.
They do have a cereal selection. It's cornflakes, Rice Krispies, and Fruit Loops. So that might change, but so they're going to have something for.
And they
most
had whole
cereal.
milk and 2% milk as your options for those as well.
Gotta have your milk options.
And then there was a yogurt stand. This, I think, was probably one of me and Amy's favorite parts because they had dried cherries.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in a second.
And toasted coconut.
Yes. So they had Greek yogurt and strawberry yogurt. I opted for the Greek yogurt. I believe Amy did the same.
Yes. I did try a little bit of the strawberry. It was strawberry
Just your
yogurt.
basic strawberry, Where do we have the strawberry? Where do we get the little ramekins of yogurt? We got the strawberry. That was at Ale and Compass. So
That's another episode.
So they had toasted I was going to say that word right. Okay. They had toasted coconut as a topping, apricots, granola, chocolate chips, walnuts, raisins, dried cranberries, dried banana, and dried cherries. And for mine, I made mine really beautiful to take a picture of. I remember that much. All right. So mine was Greek yogurt, toasted coconut, chocolate chips, dried cranberries, and then I put some dried banana around the outside of it to make it look all super pretty.
I went with, again, Greek yogurt, like Julie did, toasted coconut, granola, the dried cherries, and I put a few apricots, like, kind of to the side, because I just like to munch on dried apricots.
They're really delicious.
They're really good.
They also had hard-boiled eggs.
Which always makes me happy, because I love hard-boiled eggs, and
Hard-boiled eggs
I
are
always
great.
want hard-boiled eggs as an option.
And they also had cottage cheese.
Yes.
And then they also had the fixins for lox. So they had lox, and then they had...
They had an excellent selection of capers, let me tell you.
Yep, they had eggs,
I
capers,
have it written
and
here.
onions.
Large capers with salmon, meaning with the smoked salmon.
That was my favorite thing ever. Yeah, I remember being so excited about those capers. There's nothing like large capers,
I literally wrote large capers with salmon, not salmon with large capers.
obviously. Duh. And they had a lemon blueberry trifle that was beautiful and amazing and delicious and phenomenal and wonderful. And the lemon curd was a bit sweet.
Yes.
I wanted it to be a little bit more on the tart side because, lemon.
Yes.
I think that's the only critique I would have about that.
I wrote curd is insufficiently sour.
Oh, good. I was right.
Yes. It was a good curd, but with the whipped topping and the blueberry, it was just
You needed that little extra
Yeah, you needed it
cut
to be more
'cause
of
it
a
was
sour
too
curd.
sweet. They had some... Ironically, Disney has been doing this often because I had to change the charcuterie and the fromage signs at the buffet that I was just
Yes.
at in Disneyland. But labeled over the meat, it says sliced cheese. And over the cheeses, it says sliced meats.
Don't you love when they do that?
But they had your basic, it looks like sliced cheddar and provolone, and then they had ham and salami and roast beef.
Which, for the type of breakfast buffet this is,
And it was
That-
good salami.
yeah, with this type of buffet, you don't expect a super fancy, meats and cheeses.
Exactly, because it's Trails End, so it's
Yeah.
more of the classic country
Yeah,
fare.
but for the type of breakfast buffet it was definitely a decent meats and cheese selection, considering the salmon and capers and onions and eggs, because that's other things you put on salmon.
That was so delicious.
They, with all that actually makes a really nice, selection.
Yeah.
Now, if we were at the California Grill or somewhere at the Grand Floridian, and this was their selection, we'd be like, well,
We paid a little bit more for you.
what's going on
so-
here? But for this type of a country down home breakfast buffet, it all fit. It was good.
It
I was
was.
pleased.
That's very good. And then the next section, they had warm pecan sticky buns, bread pudding, a walnut praline sauce. I'm going to say that one again. Walnut praline sauce. Mickey waffles, maple syrup, and blueberry syrup. And the sticky buns were really good. I know that I have a picture of freshly put out sticky buns, but I could not wait because I was taking pictures and everything looked so good that I was like, I don't care right now. I just want to take my pictures so I can try and eat everything because it's also amazing.
They also had a sauce with the sticky buns.
Totally different. Walnut praline sauce.
Yes.
And that was for the waffles.
Well, I took it as that it could go
I totally
on all
topped it on.
items,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I topped it off because they were not sticky enough for me.
But it definitely wasn't because it would have been pecan praline sauce,
Yes.
which I was really bummed that it wasn't.
Yes.
Not that I don't love me some walnuts.
Well, yeah, and the walnut praline sauce could also go in the bread pudding. So I guess they just put it for everything.
I would have it with everything.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
exactly.
I did get a little cup of the maple syrup and the blueberry syrup
Yes.
to try, but I definitely put the walnut praline. Okay, so let's talk about this. I later put the walnut praline sauce on everything.
Yes.
But I wanted to try everything by itself, but I did smother my Mickey waffle in it.
Yes.
And I regret nothing.
I'm not sure if I got a Mickey waffle. I can't remember.
No, I think you left the Mickey waffle to me.
Yes, because there was so much food.
There was so much food.
There's
But I
so
have to
much
try the Mickey waffles everywhere because I had this one experience where all I wanted was a Mickey waffle with ice cream, and the Mickey waffle came out horrendous, and it made me sad because how do you screw up a Mickey waffle?
It was sad. It was sad.
It was a tragedy.
Don't let it happen.
But we're going to talk about that in a couple episodes because, So, they had a breakfast pizza. This was really good. We asked for sriracha. It made it better.
Yes. Yes. If you like spicy food.
If you like pina coladas
And spicy
getting
nuts.
caught in the rain.
But yeah, if you like breakfast pizza and you like spicy food, ask for sriracha.
But yeah, this pizza was insanely delicious. There was onions on it, and I was going to call them bananas, but they're eggs.
Yeah, they
Onions.
definitely don't even look like bananas. I'm just saying.
Shh. But yeah, onions, scrambled eggs, some mushrooms, tomato, peppers. I don't remember if there was bacon or not, but I believe, there's a piece of bacon. There was bacon on it. Yeah, this was really, really good. And definitely add sriracha because I remember liking it way more with the sriracha. Unless you don't like spicy stuff, and then you'll probably think this is amazing. Because it was super delicious. I just felt like it needed a little kick. Okay, so the next thing was a kale frittata thing. I believe it had goat cheese in it and kale and ham, and I remember not being able to taste the goat cheese.
It was really promising, but it fell flat. It reminded me of the quiche that we talked about at Be Our Guest, that it was just kind of lacking.
Like, could have done with some salt.
Yeah.
Even just a little salt to bring out the flavor.
Yes.
And definitely more cheese.
Yes.
If you can't taste goat cheese in something, there's definitely not enough goat cheese. So this next item, I really, really liked, and it was super delicious, but it wasn't a Benedict per se.
No.
So
Agreed
it
with
was
that 100%.
like country Benedict is what it was called. And so I was picturing it to be on like cornbread or something, but it was super delicious. Don't get me wrong. And the eggs were cooked absolutely perfectly.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that statement.
But it was just barbecue pulled pork with poached egg on top and a hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
Again, super delicious, but I think this would have been complemented nicely with a cornbread biscuit.
So yeah, how I would love to see this served, because we're looking at a photo here that is basically almost a full platter.
Yep.
And it's already a mess. I would like to see it that they put it in a ramekin, because no matter what, it's going to be a little messy. And like Julie said, a little cornbread. If they're trying to leave the cornbread off for like a gluten thing, that's fine. But
well, I think if they had put it on the cornbread, it would have stayed together and not just been a mushy mess on the platter. Serving it the way it is, I would say definitely in ramekins.
Yes. Yeah, if they're going to leave...
I've had Eggs Benedict on a buffet before that have stayed together because they're on the English muffin, and that kind of contains everything.
Definitely.
This was just a mess. And, there are some people that wouldn't take the egg or took 2 eggs.
Because the eggs were raw. The eggs weren't raw. They were perfect.
And I think people, took more of something, so there wasn't everything left over.
Yeah. It was difficult to kind of scoop a whole little Benedict in a sense.
Yes.
Even if you got
Still insanely delicious.
Yes, definitely scoop
Worth it.
yourself a nice little Benedict, get some hollandaise and the pulled pork and all that. But yeah, I would like to see it either served on like you said, a little cornbread round or something like that, or in ramekins, because that's easier to go with.
And it kind of was messy on my plate, too. It kind of smooshed into everything.
Yeah, and granted, buffets, like, we tend to make lovely looking plates, but buffets, everything kind of gets mushed together unless you're, going back for 14 plates. This is sort of like super going everywhere type of a scoop on your plate.
And to talk about the plates for a second, because they were really cool and definitely in theme with this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically these tin plates.
Yeah, they were really fun.
And they were awesome. And really added to the whole atmosphere of the restaurant, I think.
I agree.
All right, so rewinding a little bit, because we didn't really go into much detail about the praline sauce.
Should we first just cover the eggs?
Nope.
Okay.
The bread pudding and the sticky bun. The sticky bun had good flavor, but it wasn't sticky enough for me.
Yes, I actually, looking at my notes here about the sticky bun, I said really good, but just not sticky enough, not quite where it could have been. Okay, not amazing.
And what I did was I ended up going back and adding the walnut praline sauce to it. And that was definitely an extra layer that it certainly needed.
Definitely.
And then the Mickey waffle was cooked perfectly, and the walnut praline was delicious on it. But next time I would add maple syrup and the walnut pralines, because it was a little too much walnut and not enough saucy sauce.
Yes. Now, the bread pudding, which was located between the walnut praline sauce and the sticky buns, was actually really good.
Oh my gosh, that was so delicious.
I love a good bread pudding because it's like, here, let's use some bread and make it all custardy.
And our magical Disney bread pudding to compare to is Ohana.
Yes.
And when you can come close to Ohana bread pudding, like nothing will be Ohana bread pudding because you don't have the bananas Foster to put on top and the ice cream. But this was a really good bread pudding. It was nice and creamy, but not weird texture creamy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super, super delicious.
Agreed.
All right. So the next thing is the Western Spam Scramble. So basically a Western scramble with Spam, which means it had yummy, yummy cheese, some peppers and onions, and Spam. It was delicious. I love me some Spam.
A good mix and nicely cooked, not dry. Those were my main notes.
It was super delicious. And then the scrambled eggs were really delicious too.
But yeah, the Western scrambled eggs were really good. I did not try the plain scrambled eggs.
No, I don't think I either.
Okay, well, yeah, because if the Western scrambled eggs
were delicious scrambled, then obviously the regular scrambled eggs were the right kind of fluffy, delicious eggs.
Exactly. The Western scramble wasn't too strange, so if you're trying to encourage some more varied eating in perhaps a slightly picky eater, something to try on the plates.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy of a flavor. It was just a nice, delicious balance of those things that were added.
Yes.
And next we have oatmeal. I did not try the oatmeal.
I did. It was steel cut, and it was lovely.
Did it come with toppings to add? No.
Well, the toppings would be the same toppings that you would find on the
yogurt, right?
On the yogurt.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go back to add oatmeal.
Yeah, I just went back, and I think I put some dried
cherries
and coconut, and just enough to try a little bit of the oatmeal, because I do love a good steel cut oatmeal.
Mm-hmm. The next was the cheese grits. This was really good cheese grits. It was really creamy and had good cheese flavor. I know that some cheese grits, what they do is they'll just have regular grits and add cheese to the top of it.
Never do that.
Which isn't bad if you have really good grits. And I believe at Olivia's, I tried their grits because I had to, because I just personally had to try their grits. And they added the cheese to the top, and the grits was really creamy and delicious, so it worked. But if you have a cheese grits, make it a cheese grits.
Yeah, if you're going to add cheese just on top of regular grits, the grits also have to be super, 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 super warm. I was on a cruise ship once, and the people at our table ordered the grits, and they're like, oh, can we get some cheese? And they ordered them at the same time, brought them out, and the grits had been sitting a little bit, so they were already kind of cooled, like they would have been fine. Then they brought them cheese, and they just like put the cheese on top of it, so it's completely unmelted cheese. That's not how you want your cheese grits.
No, not at all. You definitely want that cheese added so it gets melty.
Yes. But yeah, they were really yummy. I just had a little bit of it because there's so much food.
Oh my gosh, there was so much. The biscuits and sausage gravy were next. The biscuits were really, really good. I always love a really buttery, really delicious biscuit. And that really, you'd think the gravy is the make or break of biscuits and gravy.
And to a point it is, but
I can enjoy biscuits and gravy if the gravy is not as great as it could be if it's a solid biscuit. And not solid like hard as a rock biscuit, solid like perfect biscuit.
Yeah, if it's a terrible biscuit, unless it's the best gravy in the world,
It doesn't.
you don't want,
Because
if it's
the
a
buttery, soft flakiness of the biscuit, and I say flaky, but it's more like a crumbly,
yes,
really, really complements the gravy.
sausage gravy, yeah. Now, a really good biscuit, you could put mediocre sausage gravy on it and it would still be good, but
Yep.
you would need, again, like the best sausage gravy you've ever had ever existing on the planet to make a really bad biscuit, be okay.
And even then.
And even then, it's like, okay, you just be like, oh, this gravy's great, but oh my goodness, this biscuit.
And just give me some gravy in a bowl.
But yeah, I tried some of that too. It was delicious.
And
Just,
then the
like,
next was
overall,
the smoked beef hash. So this was brisket, and this is their shining glory. This was what she said is everybody's favorite dish. It's their signature dish, is what they're known for at their breakfast. And I gotta say, meh.
So my thoughts was the dish was good. It tasted good. All the things went together well. I have no problems there. I would not call it a hash. When I was reviewing my notes, the first thing it said was, this is not a hash. This is potatoes and, other ingredients put together well, and it was tasty, but it is not hash. Hash is usually more chopped up and even mass-produced
I feel
hash.
like this is more of like a smoked beef home fry.
Yes. This is like a smoked beef or smoked brisket, whatever it is, home fried potato.
And I remember not being super impressed with the flavor of the brisket.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't this is everyone's favorite dish good. And, we now know what everyone's favorite dish is going to be. And we'll get to that.
Yeah,
But
we're
this
literally saving the best for last.
Yes.
I skipped over it. I saw it. I skipped over it. Next, there is sausages. They were your basic pork sausage. I dipped them in maple syrup. They were delicious.
Because that's how you eat a breakfast pork sausage.
That's how I do, at least. And then bacon.
I also dip my bacon in maple syrup when I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I can't eat bacon.
So one thing, as I also noticed as we're looking around at the photos, I'll just interject, they also have some really fun decor. They have a lot of the, enameled ware kettles, which, it's blue with the white speckles.
Some of the stuff have, like the jelly on the next page, are served in little teeny tiny buckets.
Yes. They've got, the serving dishes are a really heavy metal. They've got...
Rock on!
Woo! They've got cast iron pans hanging around. Now, obviously, a lot of what is behind the buffet is actual stuff they're using for food prep and whatnot, but I always appreciate that Disney does add in a few items purely for visual. It's like at Victoria and Albert's, we asked them about those beautiful cast iron pans we see hanging, and they're like, well, we do use cast iron pans. Not cast iron, copperware pans. And they're like, well, we do use them, but not those. Those are really, a decoration for the chef's table to look at. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Exactly.
But yeah, they have a lot of fun stuff to look at. So like we mentioned, or Julie mentioned earlier, the little cast iron stove in the Old West, so to say, that would be what would be keeping the entire building warm.
And you'd be cooking with it too. All right, so the bacon, I remember not being my favorite bacon ever, but it wasn't my least favorite bacon ever.
Agreed.
They had banana bread.
Not as good as my mother's banana bread, but it was pretty good.
I was just going to say, not the best banana bread I've ever had. Excellent flavor, not moist enough.
Gotta have moist banana bread.
But these were some toppings. They had toasts and bagels. It looks like they had plain toast, whole wheat toast, plain bagels, multigrain bagels, and cinnamon raisin bagels.
They had grape jelly and orange
I
marmalade.
literally was just going to talk about that.
Okay,
stuff. You just
then-
totally stole my thunder.
Okay, thunder returned.
So for toppings on all these delicious breads and bagels, they had grape jelly and orange marmalade.
And I love a good orange marmalade.
Little lady orange marmalade. Just kidding.
Julie goes that direction. I'm like, tea with the queen. My marmalade.
Please pass the jelly. We talked about that on another podcast too. All right, they had butter, cream cheese, and then some brown sugar. And then these next two were really delicious that I basically just had to try on their own.
Agreed.
Coffee butter and brown sugar butter. Now, if you've ever been to Texas Roadhouse,
I have.
they have the cinnamon sugar butter that is the most amazing thing ever, and I want to eat all the rolls with all that, and then I'm like, but I really want my steak salad too. Yeah, this is just as good.
Yes. Yes.
And there's so many other things you could put it on. Okay, let me just paint a picture for you.
paint away.
Slice of banana bread. Smeared with cinnamon sugar butter.
See, that sounds really good, but I'm remembering how it wasn't moist enough, so I'm like,
I know,
no.
That's why you add the butter to it.
Well, no, I'm
because it
saying
makes
that's why I was like, I would have been cream cheese. Because when it's not moist enough, I go straight for the cream cheese on my banana breads.
I'm saying this butter.
Oh, no, oh my God. I would do cream cheese. I'd do a thin layer of cream
Oh my
cheese
gosh,
and then
you-
put the
yes,
butter on
absolutely.
top.
See, for me, cream cheese
Former,
doesn't make things more moist. It like makes them like, if y'all understand what that noise was.
Yeah, I'm not a cream cheese obsessed. There's just like a few things that it's like, no, I like cream cheese on them.
Like everything bagels. But you got to do a smearing of butter and
See, I go with the
Then the
onion
cream cheese.
bagel generally.
everything. That's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's my second in command jam for bagels.
coffee butter.
Coffee butter. It's butter with coffee, I think.
And then, like espresso powder mixed into it.
Oh, I know. I was just
So delicious. Definitely not what you're expecting here, and it was really good and a nice little zhuzh. That was definitely one that you want to put on your banana bread because I don't really think it would be too good on plain toast or anything because I feel like, coffee with, or if you smeared it on the like cheese Danish or the coffee, the
any of
corn
the Danish
muffin.
Oh yes, the corn muffin. Clearly, we
Ooh,
need
the
to
chocolate twist. That would have been really good.
So clearly, we need to go back just
to put the coffee butter on
smear
everything.
things with coffee butter, and try different like yogurt combinations and all that.
Obviously, this was really fun because a
No,
lot
I
of it was
really
like
enjoyed
build
it.
your own, and it was really good. And then the crowning glory. Oh, there was also fruit. Why do you have a slice of watermelon? There was
Yeah.
apparently fruit.
There's fruit, the fresh fruit selection. There's
Oh, yeah, the fresh fruit
watermelon,
selection was by the-
strawberries.
Do I have pictures of that?
I have a picture with strawberries here somewhere.
Oh yeah, they literally just had strawberries and watermelon. It was next to the lemon blueberry trifle. All right, and so the crowning glory of this meal and our absolute favorite ever was the cheesy potato casserole.
It was fantastic.
I went back for seconds
And thirds.
and fourths.
Yes.
It was amazing, and we got a recipe for it, and we need to try it sometime.
Yes, we do.
They were so delicious.
They really were.
And-
yes.
We brought it up. We shared it with you on Instagram when we were there because it was literally that week that they had added it to the menu. So we were
Yes.
one of the first people to try it, and let me tell you, we had some rave reviews for it, so I don't think that's going anywhere.
Yeah,
But they always take my favorite thing off of every menu everywhere, so
Right.
who knows?
We had a good 5-minute conversation with our waitress, and then I believe one of the hostesses or managers of that area just talking about how great it is and
Yeah.
how you need to keep it on and how it's your new showy wonderful item and all those other things.
Amazing. And you can also get alcoholic beverages.
Mm-hmm.
They have your basic coffee, teas, juices, soda, water, pog juice.
Yes. They are in the same building as a
They didn't. What did they call the juice though? They didn't call it pog. What did they call it? I know I have it in my notes, but I
I know,
don't
I'm
remember it
looking.
down. Because they used to have.
they call it moonshine.
Yes.
Yeah, mimosa
Moonshine.
with moonshine. So it's not
So the
moonshine,
moonshine is unalcoholic,
yes.
and it's their take on moonshine. They used to actually serve it in little glasses,
yeah.
chilled that people could grab themselves, and now I guess they took that away and they just serve it to you if you ask for it.
Yeah, and the moonshine is pog juice, so you can just get that
exactly,
straight up.
That's literally what it is.
But the moonshine mimosa is a mimosa made with pog juice, and they put some raspberries in it for us.
It was just so delicious and fresh and wonderful and magical.
They are located next to / in the same building as a full bar. So once the full bar is open, I'm sure you could probably get any little drink your heart can imagine that you would get at a normal bar. But she had no problem getting us these mimosas before the full bar opened.
Yep. Oh my gosh, they were so delicious.
We also got just pog juice and hot coffee.
And the coffee was really good.
Yeah, the coffee was good.
Water, all the important things for breakfast.
Gotta hydrate.
Yeah, the bacon was crispy and delicious. And I really liked the grits.
Oh yeah, the cheesy grits were...
But I literally have that cheesy potato casserole on every single picture that I have of every plate that I went up for. Each plate has something different on it.
It does.
Like, I went to each section and filled it up, but each and every plate has that potato casserole on it.
Yes.
And I have a close-up of it because it was that amazing.
Yeah. If you go and eat nothing else, then that's probably not your best place to go. But if you go and eat nothing else, it should be the cheesy potato casserole.
I would pay for this buffet just to eat that cheesy potato casserole again.
Yeah, that's true. Let us be honest.
Everything
the cheesy
on
potato
this menu was super delicious, but that was definitely the star.
Yes. I would definitely take Michael here for breakfast.
And then you're going to take him to Beer Garden for lunch or dinner so that we can go there sometime, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the number one important one to make. And if I say that it's an amazing breakfast buffet and I want to go back...
And that she wants to go back.
Then it's an amazing breakfast buffet and everyone should go eat here.
Also keep in mind that even if Amy doesn't say it's an amazing breakfast buffet, it doesn't mean it's not an amazing breakfast buffet. But this one just really is that amazing.
Yes, you should just, when I say that, it is important to stress how amazing it is when I say it's amazing.
What Amy says is the truth.
Food truths with Amy.
So we do not have a story for our fan favorite food segment today. So please send them to us so that we have one to share for next week. We love you. You're awesome. We want to share your food memories too. You can share your favorite Disney food memory with us at onelittlespice@gmail.com. You can also share it with us on Instagram or Twitter. On Instagram, we are at @1_little_spice. Please follow us there. You'll see all the pictures of everything we've talked about. We're also on Twitter. You can follow us there at One Little Spice. And on Facebook, we are One Little Spice. Search that, like our page, and make sure to join the One Little Spice group for even more food conversations after the podcast is over. And make sure you send us your favorite Disney food memory, again, to the email or direct message on any of our social media. We are on Patreon. Patreon is a great way for us to share some extra exclusives with our listeners. So head over there to check out what else you can get. We have Magical Snack Corner, which is our extra episode. We have a button pack and a spice blend and some really awesome stuff for you there. So head over to www.patreon.com/onelittlespice and become a patron. By supporting us on Patreon, you are helping us to get our webpage started and to help us bring you even more Disney food content even more often. We are at our first goal, so we are starting our website, so we'll hopefully have that up for you soon. We are so excited to be able to bring that to you as well, and we really appreciate your support there, so definitely become a patron. We are also on TeePublic. On TeePublic is where you can find all of our merchandise. We have t-shirts and sweatshirts and baby onesies and notebooks and mugs and all sorts of really great merchandise there. You can go to TeePublic and search One Little Spice, or you can click the link in our description. That way you can get some really awesome One Little Spice swag. And then last but not least, we have a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is The Taste Lab. And on The Taste Lab, we are able to bring you Disney food right into your kitchen. So we create Disney dishes with either a recipe that we've gotten from one of the chefs at Disney, or we come up with our own concoction that tastes just like one of the dishes from Disney so that we can help bring you your favorite dishes. And we have the cheddar cheese soup from Le Cellier that we make into a delicious poutine as well. And we have the 7-vegetable terrine from Akershus. Coming soon, we will have the chopped cob salad from Hollywood Brown Derby, as well as the Tonga toast from Kona Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the new releases. And as always, thank you so much for listening. And just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice. Welcome to episode 43. Nope. Yeah.
Yes. You can get tuna takiti bowl, a bao bun,
Tataki.
tuna
Hey, Amy. Listen to the words that I'm saying.
Okay,
Ooh, they had a lemon blueberry tripe.
that's trifle.
Trifle? Sorry. Let's hear for the birds. like this might get left out.
I know how to speak. I has words.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, maybe coming up with our first episode title. What was it again?